Good evening, Blowers. Welcome to the 59th episode of the Stepback. It's your host, Leon Tompkins, my main man, Jacob Moses, and here we bring in the heat. Good, good friend, welcome group member, Jason Ortiz. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man. Everything's good. Hype for tomorrow, 2 o'clock.
About to get fun.
Word,
Yeah.
word. We had a real exciting week leading up to the playoffs. We got the play-in tournament. We had the Hall of Fame induction last weekend, and the regular season. And some big news in our group. We got a new logo. So,
Sir.
that's exciting, man. Shout outs to Henry for putting that logo together and really putting the group on the map. All his hard work is always appreciated, always noted. Shout out to Henry, host of Dong City over in Baseball Life.
Absolutely. Merchandise will be coming out, so we're making this a brand. My guy Jason, that's how I go. My man Jason, he can make his own brand. He got books on Amazon. Go check that out. We're gonna plug that for you, my brother.
No doubt, no doubt. I appreciate that.
I will be buying something. I didn't forget about you. I got to get his books and read them, but I will.
No doubt.
So we are starting the playoffs tomorrow afternoon. Knicks finally in there. Heat are in there. We're going to go over all the playoff matchups, over this play-in scenario that happened over the week. So you're a big Heat fan. What's your thoughts on the Heat this season?
So, I mean, there's probably everybody's been affected at some point, but I think there's probably 4 or 5 teams that were really affected by COVID, by injuries, and the Heat happened to be one of them. I mean, they barely had – this is the first time they got the whole team. And Oladipo don't really count, right? That was a trade that was a let's give it a shot and see what happens kind of thing. And, what they gave up was people that were never going to be here anyway. So that was pretty cool. So, but this is the first time, literally, that everyone is traveling to Milwaukee. That hasn't happened all season. And this happened at the right time. So honestly, I know, it's the Heat in 5 bias that I got, but I honestly got Heat in 6.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why quickly. So I don't want to too much on my team because I want to do it unbiased. But I really believe that adding Drew Holiday isn't what was going to stop Miami from repeating. They did nothing. Bobby Portis is a good body. Dude is tough, and he will hit you hard. So I like Bobby Portis in some ways. He could defend. But those weren't difference makers. I mean, these dudes just really lost last year, Heat in 5, for real. And I just don't really see where was the difference that they were supposed to do something better. Because last year, Kendrick Nunn didn't even really play for us because he had COVID. Mm-hmm. So we actually a little bit better at this stage, even though the record don't show it, and that's because the whole season we was all messed up. But this is the first time Goran Dragic is 100% healthy. That ain't happened all season. Kendrick Nunn is finally going to play in the playoffs. We didn't get him against Milwaukee last year. So, I feel like, honestly, we have the way the system is and the way the coach plays against Giannis, we're like the only team that really shuts him down. He don't get shut down. He's in the 3 games they played against Miami. Jimmy Butler didn't play none of those 3 games because he was injured. We played them with a depleted roster, won 1 game, blew them out, lost the other 2, but Antetokounmpo is averaging 16 points in them 3 games because Miami fleeces him like no other team ever has. And I don't see what's going to be different. Drew Holiday ain't going to be that much of a difference maker. And he only averages 1 more point than Bledsoe did. So I don't really see if we fleecing Antetokounmpo, who's going to pick up the slack? Because it's only a 1-point difference, and we won every game by more than 1 point. I just don't see where their big difference was supposed to be against this team. They have done great against Brooklyn. Their match, Brooklyn has no defense, but their matchups against other teams are crazy. But it's this one matchup against Miami that's their Achilles heel. And I just haven't seen nothing that made me feel different.
Well said.
I think I'm actually a big uh, believer in Holiday. I like his two-way ability, but I also think the major difference between Miami and the rest of those teams, you point out every week, Bam Adebayo. He's the guy. Not in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, but you know where he is on defense. So
Yep. And he's a 1-to-5 protector. He guard everybody. Ain't a lot of them. I mean, that's why it's so highlighted when someone be like, "Yo, LeBron will guard you 1-to-5." Like that's such a big deal because they ain't 20 dudes doing it. And Bam is just one of those guys. And we got a lot of little scrappy, hard-nosed dudes. We ain't really got 7-footers, but we got a whole lot of – and we lose the rebound battle in most our games and still have a winning record is because and outside of the Knicks, I think the Knicks – this year's Knicks remind me of last year's Heat. And it's just because of the grit, the scrappiness. Last year, Bam became a first-time All-Star. This year, Julius Randle becomes a first-time All. I just feel like that grit, that grind. These are the two teams that, I know everybody thinking this first round and they ain't going anywhere. These are the two teams that you don't want to battle, man. I'm telling you. You don't want to battle them.
yeah, I agree on the Knicks. Not want to face them, but I think it's a bad matchup against Atlanta.
Right. Now, that's the one thing. I think that Atlanta is going to give them a little bit of trouble. I still have the Knicks winning. But if the Knicks would have matched up against someone else that first round, I think it would be an easier – here's the thing. A lot of them dudes in the Knicks are just getting on the report for the other teams because people didn't expect none of this. People are just like, yo, how do you figure this out? Because this dude wasn't doing this. So how do you figure this out all of a sudden?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that is what happened with Miami last year. Miami just like, nobody was in the beginning of this season, they kind of was figuring out Duncan Robinson. They couldn't figure him out last year. I mean, it was like, yo, we're trying to guard this kid and he's still hitting it. And then they figured him out and then he did something different and they couldn't figure him out the second half. And that's why I feel the Knicks are right now, where there's a lot of dudes that you could say what you want, but you haven't figured them out. And it shows. RJ Barrett last year I was like, damn, hopefully the kid will become something. I didn't think he was ever going to be like a bust or a bum. None of that crazy shit. But I didn't think he was going to grow that fast this season. I know that, in my opinion, Julius Randle's the clear MIB. Clearly. Most improved basketball player, most improved player, MIP. I feel like if you got a top 10, RJ Barrett's in there too, though.
Yeah.
Because, and I don't just look at numbers. I'm looking at impact. He the number 2 guy on that team.
Yes, he is.
I mean, you could count Rose as a 6 man coming off but the number 2 guy I got is RJ. That kid is, and he's defending, and he's completely different from last season. And I feel like a lot of people couldn't figure him out still.
Yeah, his 3-point shooting got a lot better.
Man, he couldn't hit a free throw last year.
Nope.
Man,
he's up in the high 70s now. He might have made it to 80 this year.
So all the teams that were like, yo, just foul the kid. He ain't gonna do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. Like, you can't figure him out. Now it's different. Now throw that whole book away. That whole playbook is garbage. And now you got to do something. And that's why they remind me so much of Miami last year. Because whatever playbook you had in them, you got to throw it away now. Mm-hmm. You got to throw it away.
Word. Now, you mentioned Miami last year. Big coming out party was for Tyler Hero. Look at him this year, and, he got himself a little playmate, and, his numbers took a dip.
Yeah, it did. But I'll say this. He's another one. The second half, the kid woke up. And I think that so here's what I believe. And I know that, a lot of times we'd be like, oh, it's just a business. We got to be professional. Them trade rumors weigh on your soul, man. And a lot of, one of these Miami beat writers, whatever, I even though I live in Brooklyn, I still always read everything over there when it comes to the Heat because I need to stay in touch, right? And a few of the Miami beat writers were saying stuff that made sense. And it was like, once dude was officially not being traded, it's like he woke up. Same thing with Duncan Robinson. They both took a dip the first half because they was on every trade rumor for Miami. Oh, no, not trade him, trade him. Don't trade him, not for this, not for – and these kids was playing like they were scared, man. Like, damn, they didn't want to lead that sunny life. And And then the moment that all that went down, and they got Oladipo for a bag of chips and a can of soda, and whatever, and they got Ariza for pretty much nothing, and it's like literally they just woke up. Like, all right, now we can ball. And Miami has the first or second best record since the All-Star break. Remember, they was 13th in the East.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
13th this
They were
season.
right up there with Washington.
Yeah.
Washington,
And
Atlanta.
I don't remember who to do. I swear to God, I need to be one of them screenshot dudes sometimes, because there was someone in our group had literally told me they ain't making the playoffs, and if they do, they getting swept in the first round. And I just want that. I'm just wearing that. I'm keeping that one.
Oh, you got some receipts. I got some receipts. I know Jake got some receipts. So
Absolutely.
we out here waiting. But you mentioned Hero and the trade rumors. Now, early in the season, the big ticket was James Harden. Do you regret not getting James Harden, or you go with what you have now?
The James Harden now, I don't know how this dude lost weight in 3 days. That's the James Harden I would have took. But the James Harden that was playing in Houston, it felt like
He checked
I
out.
don't know if he put on an Eddie Murphy suit, one of them suits that pretend you fat. But I mean, the dude was overweight. He didn't seem like it. He seemed winded. He didn't seem like he cared. That it was hard to say he was going to be this at that stage. Remember, a lot of times we live in the moment. So at that moment, to give away every young piece. Remember, you saw what they got.
Yeah.
I mean, what had to be given is pretty much you got to market every draft pick that you, and then he warrants that. But if he was playing the way he played last season, or the way he played for Brooklyn, because he's played better than KD for Brooklyn in the games he's played. If he played like that in Houston, I would have said, listen, I add a cousin, an aunt, and an uncle to that package for James Harden. Because Bam, Butler, and Harden, oh my Lord. The shit I would have been talking would have been, man, somebody would have put a hit out on me just to shut me up.
Yeah. I think Harden is the pendulum swinger. He obviously was between Brooklyn, Miami, and Philly. And now you see where they are. I don't know if it's hard to say what his role would be like in Miami, because he can actually defend. Obviously not to the level of Jimmy Butler or Bam, but when he's engaged, he's actually not bad defensively.
Yeah.
In Philly, you put him and Embiid together, they're damn near unstoppable.
That right there. Honestly, that would have been a chip.
I thought so too.
Oh yeah. And that's what we thought he was going to. We really thought he was going to Philly. Like, oh man, this is about to be serious.
I was like, wow, that was going to be it.
Mm-hmm. But Jermaine in the group, he actually made a good point. He said it was always the same Harden he cared, but the owner didn't. He might have a point.
Good point. No, good point. Yeah. I mean, look at all the moves the Rockets made. That was like a whole lot of people would have got fired, man. Mm-hmm. If that would have been a different owner who would have gave a shit. A lot of people would have been fired, man. New GMs and all this stuff would have been. He has a good point, because that was crazy. All the moves was crazy.
Like how you keep Oladipo and not LeVert?
Exactly.
I didn't get that, especially with the injury history. It didn't make sense.
None.
And LeVert, you saw what LeVert was going to be. It was more of the health issue. You didn't see that coming, but he didn't really have an injury history. You still could have put him on the shelf. You would have had a nice little core with him, Christian Wood. Now, if they swung another deal, for what is his name, Porter?
Yeah,
Jr.? Yeah. Swing a deal for him, it's looking good. Even if you put John Wall in that little faction right there, that still looks good.
Yeah.
But, he just fire sailed, and now you got all these young guys that you hope is going to come out. You got Christian Wood. That's good to have a forward. But LeVert, man, he's a cornerstone, as you can see with Indiana. That's what he's going to be the next 5 to 7 years, plus more.
Yeah. But Christian Wood is not going to be the guy for that team. He's a guy that complements the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Houston gave him the big contract, and that's cool. I'm all for the players getting their money. But But it seemed like everything they did, it's like, are they building around this kid? Because people saw the fluke in all the trades they made. And I don't think that's going to gravitate. No one's going to be like, man, I can't wait to sign to Houston. I just, because remember, the players know more than we know. If we see management doing some stupid moves, imagine the things they hear in their inner circles. And they got to be like, man, I ain't never going there. This dude's a fool. Or whatever it is. I just feel like they didn't set themselves back 1 or 2 seasons. We're not seeing Houston in the playoffs for a long time.
No. But I do like Porter. I do like Martin Jr. And I do like Wood. But in that Western Conference, Minnesota is much closer than Houston is.
That's facts.
Although I don't understand why Minnesota decided to start winning games at the end of the season.
I think they were finally healthy all at once for like that last stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if they won every game at that stretch, they still not making the playoffs.
No.
I would have said, you know what? I don't want to give Golden State this pick. Man, I don't want to give Golden State this pick. So we're going to sit down, and you're going to be injured, and we're going to the playoffs next year. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're set up to roll next year. But the West it's looking like, and I'll go back to the early 2000s when the West was just loaded, and it was fun to watch. They're there, but even you put Minnesota in there, it's going to be even crazier.
Yeah.
Because they had the big man. That's why.
Because I remember they didn't really play a full health. That's another team. That's one of those 5 teams that they had it rough all year. Mm-hmm. Injuries galore. They didn't have a full team once until like the end. Like it just was not good, man. You never got, and even now, even when they started going on a good run, we didn't see that. We still haven't seen their potential.
No.
Because someone was always sidelined. So they probably could give us a treat next season.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Now, you were watching the standings all year, making sure you weren't in that play-in scenario. All season you were in that 5, 6, 7 range. Hell, you were down below 9 and 10 to that recent stretch.
Yeah.
You lock up that 6 seed, but what's your thoughts on this play-in tournament?
So before the games actually played, I was against it. I was like, well, if you 7th or 8th, then that's where you at. You got it. You earned it. And then when the first game happened and it started to be a blowout, I was like, I knew this was a waste of time. But then the second game came on. Mm-hmm. And then, and then you get this Golden State and Lakers game the next day. Mm-hmm. And then you start to say, you know what? It got that college elimination feel, but with next level dudes. Mm-hmm. I could take it. I'll take it. I don't care. and if teams don't like it, you know what? Get to the 6th then, because I'm all for it now. And now we don't get really a break from to the playoff. Look, we've had a game every day. Mm-hmm. There's no break. I love it. As a fan, being greedy, I absolutely am all for it. We got no days off, and I'm like, whoa, we get a game at 9 o'clock today. Mm-hmm. No day, and then the playoffs is tomorrow. We ain't get a day off. Now, it's not fair to the playing teams because they don't really get to rest. Mm-hmm. But you should have won, so I'm cool with it.
Exactly, and it gives you that incentive. Like you say, finishing that top 6, you get that week rest, and look at Memphis and Golden State out here fighting for the.
Oh man, they're gonna be winded. It's gonna be interesting though. It's gonna be a good one, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
John, Steph, what?
Listen,
who you got?
Much as I love Steph, I want to see Ja. I want to see what those guys, the grit and grind, guys do, like the Ja Morants, the Brandon Clarks. 3J is back. Valanciunas. I want to see what they're gonna. They have a better team to actually give somebody a run for their money, because with Steph, he'll get you 40, but where are you getting the other points from?
Right,
Steph is the one-man show there. I want to see that more complete team. I want to see Memphis. I would like that a lot more, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Although I do think Golden State's gonna win, but what happens if Steph has an off night? Okay, Golden State is not that fun to watch outside of Steph.
No,
because I do that streaming stuff, so I get all the channels, right? So I watch everything, and Steph. I mean, there's no Clay. Draymond Green's not fun to watch no more. He still gets his numbers, on the rebounds and assists, but he's not fun. And even when he talks trash, it's just not the same. Wiggins is not fun to watch. He's so inconsistent.
Hell
He even
no.
pisses you off, and you're not a Golden State fan, and you get pissed off like, dude, like, come on. So, on a fun aspect, the Grizzlies is a way more entertaining team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Ja Morant will give you the flash that you're looking for on from a star, but the rest of the team is gritty. Like, they all play a little bit. Where Golden State is like, if Steph's not hot,
Good
it's
night.
a waste of a game to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to be hot every game for it to be interesting, and that's not a team I want to see in the playoffs. That's cool. They made it competitive for the Lakers in the first half and the second half, but Steph, and thankfully for them, the Lakers was just not there. You could see that, they missing shots that they don't normally miss, and they getting defended by dudes that normally can't lock. Nobody on that team can't lock Anthony Davis down. They got him looking like an amateur at some parts. But then when they woke up and they started to feel a little more, they got their second win. I just feel like outside of Steph, Golden State it's not a playoff team. It's not entertaining to watch. They're not going to give Utah a big run. I don't see it. If they go against the Jazz this year, now, every time we think about the playoffs, we remember last year and the year before and all that. But this year's Jazz, I think, will obliterate Golden State. And I don't want to see that. I want to see every game, even the games that I want my team to win. I want it to be competitive where I've been entertained the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
That's how the playoffs should be. There shouldn't be no blowouts in the playoffs. You the best 8 teams.
Mm-hmm.
There should be no blowout. That's how I like them. So I want Memphis to win, but if I have to make a bet, I'm betting on Golden State.
Okay.
I think Draymond played AD well. It's just that Golden State just doesn't have that firepower that the rest of the teams do. Now you look at Memphis, yeah, they grit and grind, but Dylan Brooks, he's a scorer. Kyle Anderson can score. Jones.
Brandon
So
Clark.
Yeah.
Desmond Bain, they can shoot a little bit. It's just that Memphis needs that consistency. Once they get that 6 to 8 minute spirit where they don't know what the hell they're doing,
Yep. There you go.
lights out for Memphis. But
Yeah. But the good thing about Memphis is Ja could be off,
Oh yeah.
and they can still pull up a win.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Steph really can't be off against one of the top teams in the West. That's the difference.
yeah. And Memphis has the one guy who can match up with Gobert, as where Golden State, their biggest heel is that center position.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I want to see that Valanciunas Gobert matchup. See how they play. See how make them Gobert play that pick and roll. See how each team does it. But I mean, the Jazz were kindly shot away from advancing. So
Yeah, that's right.
I'm high on the Jazz though. I'm real high on it.
Yeah, I see. Even if it's against the Grizzlies, I'm gonna be honest. I got the Jazz advancing the first round, no matter who they face.
Yeah,
They're too good this year. They're definitely on that other level that we knew they can take, but it's
yeah.
probably serving bad pieces to teams when they get closer.
Had the Jazz over the Warriors in 4, and Jazz over the Grizzlies in 6. I think
That's
Jazz
fair.
might, Grizzlies will show a little grit, like you say, but the Jazz best 3-point shooting team in the league. They got 2 guys from the running for 6 man of the year. They're loaded.
Yeah, the way they shoot threes is crazy because, when Golden State was that 3-point shooting team, not just one guy, when it was a team, Utah wasn't shooting threes at all. Like, it just completely shifted, and it's like everyone is shooting on that team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
You gotta love the whole transformation. Even
Yeah.
the Knicks never. I used to get so mad. I'm like, they understand we gotta shoot, right? I hope they understand. They gotta get behind the line and start bombing them. But they're open. Julius is open. He's hitting them. RJ's hitting them. Quickly is hitting them. I mean, this Rose.
Yeah.
I didn't think he could shoot that well. I thought he was like a mid-range, get to the hole kind of guy. He's hitting threes, and I'm like, is this real life? What? But I'll take it, man.
I'll tell you, it's so much fun now. I always said it, and you know, I've never really been a hater. I just like to make fun. But I always said when certain teams are in the playoffs, it feels better. And for me, not because of money or market. It's not that. It's, you know, it's a lot of nostalgia.
Oh,
so
yeah.
when the 90s was Miami, the Pacers, the Knicks, the Bulls. Like, it just always felt good to have tough teams in the play. Not just good teams, because there was always good teams, but just to have those hard-nosed Eastern teams. It just always made the players feel good.
It was fun.
And I just feel like we kind of have some of that now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There's some hard-nosed, tough teams that, and I'm just happy with that.
Absolutely, just like the Knicks and Heat, man. Those days, Johnson and Alonzo swinging at each other, Jeff Van Gundy hanging on the ankle, man. You knew, and just the low scoring, 81-79 final scores.
Word.
They made you work, man.
Those are some good, man. So I'm happy that that you guys are in. I think it's actually better, not just for the league financially, because I don't get no money off of that. But I never been one of those guys that been like, oh, but my team makes more money than yours. Yeah, I don't care.
I ain't making that.
But I feel like it's just better because it feels good. And I don't. And like I said, it might be coming from a place of nostalgia, but I'm more happy the Knicks are in than the Nets are in. Of course, the Nets were going to be in. I mean, that's common sense. But it don't feel, and I'm a New Yorker. It just doesn't feel like, oh, New York's in there. I don't really care. But the Knicks being in there, and I'm not a Knicks fan at all because I told you, once they got rid of Ewing, they got rid of me. I used to be a Knicks fan as a kid. I left with Ewing, and I never turned back. And I said I'm joining the enemy, and I'm cool with that.
Brings out of that shit too.
Yeah, and I'm loving it. But it just feels good when it's like, yo, God damn it, it's been like 8 years or whatever it is, but it's good, and I think it's good, and that not just for you guys, but it just feels good in the basketball aura itself. Even when you see commercials, for them that put Knicks players in a commercial again, like I don't remember that since Melo. So it's like, whoa, they got dudes in a commercial now. That's pretty awesome. So I'm digging that.
Definitely. The Garden, Garden's going to be rocking, hearing defense once again in the playoffs. I'm sorry. I'm all about the guard. I'm all about the whole Garden aura, the defense when it gets loud. It's nothing. You're not going to be able to be. I'm sorry, Leon, my brother, no, but it's not the hell of a Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Oh God, I want to throw something at the TV every time I hear it.
Listen, I got nothing against Brooklyn. I'm happier there in Brooklyn than in Jersey.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's true.
I love that New York got 2 teams. 100%. I won't be rooting for none of them, but I'm super happy we got 2 teams. LA come on, California got 1 million teams. I'm happy we got 2.
Thanks.
So I think that's actually really good for New York in general. So I'm cool with that, man.
Yeah, and the fact they're both good just makes it something that much better. And you look at what the games been going on this year. Randall got making his kids cry. Brooklyn's the villain. We the bad guy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we trying to give away tickets. Knicks selling out shit.
I know,
what are you doing, man?
I was like, I seen that little commercial with James Harden talking about he'll pay half for some crap. I was like, what?
Come on.
That's sad shit. Oh man.
Listen, give me some damn tickets.
I'm telling you, listen, you pay half my ticket, I'll go.
Leon,
I'll go just to go.
I'm like, hey, Leon, I'll be down in a few.
Well, nah. Yeah. I need that vaccination card, man.
You gotta get that.
But you mentioned the Knicks. We'll get into it here. The Knicks facing the Hawks. This is a weird matchup to me because I don't think the Knicks seen Atlanta at full strength, and it's going to be Knicks defense against Atlanta's offense. Maybe the home court advantage takes care of it, but I think the biggest issue for the Knicks, what you've been saying all year, who they're going to start at point guard because they got to stop Trae Young. They have to stop him.
Right. But also remember, Atlanta's not at full health either right now.
No.
So that's actually another benefit
Mhm.
for New York. And New York got that top defense, man. I don't
They
know.
do.
Collins is gonna have to have an exceptional game.
Mhm.
Trey's gonna do what Trey does, but I'm telling you, I got the Knicks in 5 or 6. I'm as
I got him
good
in
as
6.
I'm keeping it real. I don't see that series going 7. I saw Kendrick Perkins post something like
Nah.
Atlanta in 7, and I'm like, I don't. They're not. If they were healthy, now if they had
Wait, who's missing?
all, I forget which one.
Because
Bogdan's playing.
Gallinari came back. Bogdanovich
back.
He
came back.
came back, yeah, but he came back and looked horrible. He might, but this break then again might help him because he came back and he still looked injured.
I mean, he doesn't have to do much. All you do is spot up. That pick and roll
Spot up
game
shoot.
between him and
Well, yeah, he is coming off the bench. He's coming off the bench. That's true.
I'm terrible.
DeAndre Hunter, Cam
Yeah,
Reddish.
that's who's coming back
Slater.
right there.
Yeah, but they didn't. But they had.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, now check this out. They both were out
Oh,
at the end of the season. They're back for the playoffs, but they haven't played.
okay.
And you don't want to go against stifling defense like that and start your series behind.
Mhm.
And you don't want to be a 40-point triple-double Julius Randle victim to start your series. Because remember, none of these dudes are playoff vets.
Mhm.
No.
You don't know how that's going to fleece them and how they're going to feel when
Well,
they
you know the
first
Knicks.
game.
Next two.
No, but check what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Remember, when dudes are out injured, and we've seen it with LeBron, we've seen it with AD, and these are guys that are super veterans. These young kids ain't super veterans, and they're coming back from an injury. We don't know how they're going to play. We've seen some of the most composed players come back and still got to get warmed up a game or two. Going into playoffs, having to get warmed up a game or two is not good.
No. If this was in the bubble, I
That might be different.
it
But
would
that
be
New York
different.
crowd is going to be mean.
It will.
And we know that, listen, a lot of states are known to be disrespectful on a real, like, racial level, right? Like Utah, OKC. But New York is disrespectful different.
They stomp you out different.
Listen, they ain't calling you no racial epitaphs, nothing. But we saying, like, as a New Yorker, not a Knicks fan, but as a New Yorker, we talk the most shit of all state. I mean, we'll create shit on the spot, and you be questioning like, "Yo, I gotta funk this dude up." Like, so I'm telling you, I just feel like these young dudes, a lot, and they had like 3 or 4 dudes injured. I don't remember everyone, but definitely Hunter and definitely Camp. They was injured, and they're
is the only one
important
missing.
to that team.
Yeah, definitely.
And them, I don't know how they're gonna play coming off injuries. Now, if it's full roster, that's definitely a 7-game
That's
series.
7. Yeah.
But I always like to factor in the things that, not the only just the numbers. Them injuries. This was a crazy year for a lot of teams, and I just feel like that's the reason why New York is gonna have the upper edge. New York has played in the beginning, no, but towards the end, New York's had a healthier season. Like they were able to afford a guy missing, right? Quickly or miss a game or two. And then they're able to take Derrick Rose out for a game and have all the other guys there. Atlanta didn't really get that at the end. At the end, they had multiple pieces missing. And it still did them well. They still landed in 5th. But I don't know, man. Playing in the Garden. Either 2 things happen in the Garden. Always, every year, our entire lives. There's one player that makes history. He has his career high in the Garden. Most of the time, dudes don't. We only remember the moment when the one guy shot 60 or 55. We remember that. But we don't never remember the 4,000 times where dudes got obliterated in the Garden. Even when this was a bum team, dudes came to the Garden, and it'd be like a whole team effort because a lot of times they star ain't do it.
That's definitely
So,
a good point.
I don't know. We don't know who's going to show up. I would wish every series was a 7-game series, but I got the Knicks in 5 or 6, to be honest. Until I see health, when I see health on Sunday different, I could probably change that. Right now, starting fresh, I got Knicks in 5 or 6.
I got him in 6, but you know who's gonna be big, and a lot of Knicks fans they're gonna have to see it. And Thibodeau, and I think he saw it at the end of the season. Frank Ntilikina, he's gonna have to play. He has to play. If anybody's gonna get on Trey or get in his ass, it's gonna be Frank, because
Yeah.
that dude, you gotta use him because his defensive prowess it's up there, and
You
he can
need
really
bodies.
aggravate Trey. Yes, they have to do it. If
Yeah.
anything, I think they start Rose playoff experience wise, but him and Frank, they got to be the guys. Peyton, I see
Yeah.
Peyton one time in that game. I'm a foot. I'm a foot my shit. I can't. I can't with that guy anymore. I can't take him missing 6 foot shots. I no. Stick his ass on the bench and let him hand out Gatorades. Let him hand out Gatorades, and that's all I want to see from Alfred Payton the whole season. Unless somebody get hurt, God, please let him stay on that bench.
Here is where it becomes a major issue.
Clint Capella.
Uh, well, nah. If John Collins gives Randall work and gets him in foul trouble, the series is over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
John Collins and Capella, that front court is nasty, but the Knicks have to shoot the threes. They
Yep.
can't. They got better over the course of the season, but they have to keep up with Atlanta. That 3-point shooting, Burks and Bullock, they got to be right.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I was very shocked with Bullock this season.
Me too.
So I'm gonna show you something very fun. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Mm.
Right? I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know how this goes.
Yeah.
You see this post right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It says, when it's over, just stop watering dead plants.
Mm-hmm.
On the bottom comment, that's Reggie Bullock on my post, hashtagging the Knicks.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's what's up.
That's
I posted
awesome.
it in the group before when it happened, but it wasn't a post most people saw. But it says when it's over, just leave, stop watering dead plants. And dude hashtagged the Knicks like he wanted to be gone.
That's crazy.
And so when I posted it, the dude Frank Isola
Mhm.
messaged me.
Wow.
So he was like, "Who's that player?" Right? And then I put Reggie Bullock as his verified page. Go check it out. And he was like, "Damn, that's crushing. We need him." And all of a sudden, it changed.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, dude wanted to leave. And now, boom. Now he's so important. This dude, his threes is money, man.
Mm-hmm. He's
Money.
He's hot. He's hot. He comes out of the
Yeah.
gate, maybe 3 or 4 in a row. You're just like, okay, Reggie. But he's the 3-and-D guy that they signed. Like that's
Yep.
that's what you expected out of him. But he gets a lot of love in Tibbs' rotation, man.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely take it.
Yeah, he's no Austin Rivers. Drop a 30 in a quarter. We'll see you later. Thanks for your services. I had Atlanta in 6, only because I think the firepower would be too much for the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the Knicks won either. So, but for my official pick, I'm going Atlanta in 6.
Okay, that's fine.
Also, like that kid, what's his name? Kevin Herter.
Kevin Herter, don't forget about
That's
him.
how you say it, right?
Yeah,
He hasn't played either. He's also was injured. This is what I'm saying. He missed the last couple games.
Mhm.
I just don't know where they're at. We'll see it. The first game is going to tell
Yep.
where we definitively stand. But
There you
right
go.
now, I got the Knicks. I'm not going to lie. I got the Knicks for now.
So the playing games we had were god awful. Besides, the Lakers and the Warriors, we touched on it for a little bit.
Mhm.
First game was, Charlotte. They never showed up. Thanks for coming if they even did.
Yeah.
Indiana.
It felt like they didn't even care. It was weird because this is it. That was your one thing, and they seemed so disinterested. I didn't understand it.
Yeah, they finished the season like awful. Miles Bridges was with the health and safety, and then when they played the Knicks, like the second to last game of the season, and Devontae Graham put up a brick for the game winner, and then they ended up losing in overtime. I knew they were finished once they got the 9 seed. So, I mean, credit to Charlotte. They needed Hayward, but I don't think Hayward would have made a difference in that game.
Mhm.
But I do like that they took one step closer. Maybe next season they can get a big man in there to really help them out. Because Cody Zeller, Bismack Biyombo, they ain't gonna cut it.
No, they ain't gonna cut it.
He's
I
still
agree.
there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Good Lord. Huh.
And then we touched on Memphis and the Spurs. I like DeRozan. He was off that game. Murray
But I
was
will
off that
tell
game.
you, they fought back though,
They did.
because when they in the first half, I was like, oh, another blowout,
Mm-hmm.
and then they woke up, man. That second quarter, they started to spark life. I mean, I believe if I could be wrong, I believe they won the second and the fourth quarters of that game. Because I remember thinking to myself, damn, like it was one quarter, one quarter. It just so happened that Memphis was better in their quarter than
Mm-hmm.
San Antonio was in theirs. But I mean, credit to them because nobody had them in the playoffs coming in.
I did.
Nice,
He
nice.
did.
Well, you know the experts,
Mhm.
they didn't
Well,
put
yeah.
them in the top
Oh
8.
no, no.
So credit to them that they even had a fighting chance.
I just Popovich.
Yeah, legend.
Don't make him have to pop a bitch. I mean,
Word.
but definitely, yeah, that team is loaded with young talent, man. I love watching that team, and I think DeRozan would be a perfect fit to stay there. But him, Keldon Johnson, DeJounte Murray, Jacob Podol. I mean, it. They just have a lot of untapped talent that they're just
Yeah.
scratching the surface on it, which I love. Semantic, the other Luca Semantic.
Walker.
Yep, Lonnie Walker the fourth. That he's.
Yep.
I'm telling you, the Spurs.
Yeah.
If they can get somebody in there like a nice star, like Aldridge, kind of his prime kind of guy, get that power forward in there. That oh my God,
Yeah.
they would definitely make a move. But
Listen, I'll tell you, man. Pop rejuvenated Rudy Gay.
hmm
I couldn't believe this dude was dropping 20 off the bench, like
hmm
just dropping them. I was like, what? This dude is what?
we thought he was
Man,
washed.
he fits so well though with them.
hmm
It was like, and it might be this. He might have like that official mentor role or something, but he fits so well with these young dudes. I'm
Yep.
like, that's probably what he needed to be, was like an old head on the team
hmm
where, play by example. I'm gonna show you this kind of thing. Cause I mean, man, he hasn't had a good season and I don't know how long. So it was nice to see what he did. It was nice this season.
It was. And what was
Definitely.
also nice was Tatum dropping 50 on Washington,
hmm
Oh
locking up
man,
that
That boy,
7.
that
that was
boy.
yeah. Ooh, that
That's
was
a
money,
bad
man.
man. He's about cold blooded, man. That guy
Word.
in Boston, they are so aggravated. I know they went through the injuries, but that's one of the most aggravating teams. If they're healthy, I'm talking about they're measuring up with the Phillies, maybe the
Yeah.
Nets, because they have that much talent. Maybe not the big man that they should have, bringing Taco, but but this definitely it's just it sucks because it's basically Tatum and Kimba versus everybody else,
I know.
and that's it. I don't know where they're gonna rely too much on those young guys like the Carson Edwards, and whoever else is on that bench. I can't think of them right now, but
Pritchard and all that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Pritchard. There you go.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Didn't
come
they
on.
botch that Miles Turner trade?
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, talk
That.
about stupid. Oh man.
hmm Miles Turner would have looked real nice.
I honestly felt like that would have been a difference maker for them being a fourth seed in the East.
hmm
Was Miles, because that was literally their only weakness, was
Yeah.
they needed a legitimate 5.
hmm
Yeah.
And man, Miles Turner would have been real nice.
Danny Ainge don't want to come off those picks.
Aaron Neesmith, the gunner. That's
Yes.
what we're missing. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
But
I'll tell you, Boston baffles me sometimes because they were willing to offer, and of course this is in hindsight, no one knew he was going to be injured every year of his career. They were willing to offer multiple picks for Justice Winslow. And this was at draft night. They wanted to move up to Miami to take, because remember, Justice Winslow was supposed to be a different player.
He was. He really was.
And that was the player Boston was looking for.
hmm
And and Miami, of course, thought he was going to be somebody else also. So they were like, "Nah, we keeping this kid." And then to not give up picks on a dude who's proven his block game is proven. He's having the best season of his career, and you weren't willing to make the trade. I ain't understand that.
no.
That was all they needed.
Yeah, like so when Horford left, that's who they were supposed to replace.
There you go.
So yeah, Miles Turner would have been the guy. Hell, he would have been nice for Indiana. I mean, they wouldn't have lost by 40. They might have lost by 20.
Yeah.
But you know,
Oh man. Don't forget about Evan Fournier. That's another
Right.
player we got.
Fournier, I'm not too high on. Yeah,
He's
that deadline.
inconsistent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that deadline move was nothing to
It
me.
wasn't. It wasn't a
I,
line
I like
changer.
Jabari Parker a bit, but he's going to give you some toughness. But uh, like you said, Boston's mixing that big man. Luckily, Brooklyn doesn't really have a big man themselves in a prototypical sense. But
Right.
they're I like what Blake Griffin has done. I like Claxton off the bench.
Hmm.
His ability to switch. Thank God they
Yeah.
stopped playing Jordan. I've been screaming for that for like months, and it's finally happened. But this Boston Brooklyn series, I think obviously you need Kemba, but Robert Williams is the guy that I think will make the entire difference for Boston if he's protecting the paint. Because Kyrie can finish with the best of them. If he can't get in there and finish, it kind of alters the game a little bit. But
Hmm.
Right.
Jaylen Brown being missing it really threw a wind in the sails of Boston because they don't have enough firepower to keep up.
Hmm.
But I had Brooklyn in 5. I'll give Boston a pretty game because Tatum is just that good.
Right. I could see Tatum having one of those. I mean, he's been on a historic tear for his own career. I could see him having one of those this series, but man, boy, he's going to waste so much energy on defense. This is a different offensive team that no one that's in the league right now has faced a team with this firepower in a 7-game series.
Nah.
They saw them one night, and then the next night they saw Cleveland, right? So, like, they ain't have to expend the same amount of energy consistently.
Hmm.
It's different, man. And that's where I take so much away from Boston right now.
Hmm.
Having to put that much energy against Brooklyn, oh man, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And they
I
don't
still
got to
get.
worry about Brooklyn not being, defensive, and everybody worried about that. You're gonna be so damn tired trying to
trying to
stop,
trying to keep
trying
up.
to stop everybody on that team. It's gonna be crazy,
It's
man.
gonna be so bad. I don't even got them winning the game, man. You talk about scary hours begins.
Yeah,
Man,
Yeah,
that's,
I will say this though. What's not being talked about?
hmm.
If Milwaukee, and then this is all hypothetics, right? And not likelies, but hypothetics.
Hmm.
If Milwaukee or Miami, whoever wins this series, if they were to make it to the finals,
Hmm.
I honestly believe they have the hardest run in the Eastern Conference
Oh.
history. Because if Miami has to beat Milwaukee, right?
Hmm.
Giannis, Middleton, Drew Holiday, and them. And then they got to beat Brooklyn next, which, I'm a Heat fan, but it's not likely. But if they pull that off,
shit,
because
I'm
even
gonna have to
without
disappear.
their full pieces, listen, with Miami being a diminished team, they kind of gave y'all a little run, and y'all had some players there. Anything can happen. And then after that, if they beat the Sixers, I mean that's of course this sounded like Mission Impossible, but that would be probably
that's
the
a
most historic run
that's
for
a
an
hell of
Eastern
a run.
Conference team. That would be more historic than the Detroit Piston run.
Yeah.
It will be up there. That's good, Lord, man.
Because I mean, look at the elite. Ah, man. I
That.
mean,
And like with Brooklyn for that matter, and you say so much that the Big Three hasn't played, and I said it really doesn't make a difference.
Mhm.
And you can also say that hell, it's also a benefit to them saying that there's no tape to study from.
Mhm.
You
right.
watch tendencies, and they've been playing so long with two players, mixing and matching. You can give one guy, you could stagger their minutes, and you're always going to face somebody. So
Mhm.
these guys, that's
Yeah.
a tall order to ask
It's gonna
for
be.
And the
any.
crazy thing is, at every moment of the game, you got one of them three on the court.
Mhm.
Like I said, that's tiring. I don't care what nobody say. This is why I don't really give Boston a chance at all, man. Like, I don't give them any chance. That's tiring. It was tiring for teams to guard Kyrie when he was in Cleveland, right? It was tiring for teams to guard him the little bit of time he played in Boston outside of his injuries. The same thing, it was tiring to play Harden in Houston. It was tiring to play against Durant in OKC and Golden State. And in Golden State, they gave you a little example on how elite he is with paired up with other people who can hold their own. but also play team ball. And now he's with, guys who, they get a hard rap for being one-on-one type players or ball hogs. They show you different, man. Together, they show you different. Harden been waiting for this moment.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, like in all these talk shows, they talk about the pressure is on LeBron and the pressure. I think Harden right now ain't feeling no pressure.
Of course not.
I think that dude has been joyous in the games he's played. Like he's been joyous, and it's good to see him like that because he's been even when those rare times they lose, dude don't seem angry. He's probably like, we're gonna win anyway. We good. Like, dude is a happy guy, and it's nice to see. And like I said, I'm not rooting for them, but it's nice. You gotta love it when players are in a good space because then they give the best of themselves, and then we get entertained. And I'm all about just being a fan, and I want to be entertained. I'm kind of like happy that team is stacked because it's fun.
It's going to be interesting.
It's
and I've been saying the same about Kyrie because he takes weeks off, takes games off, but hell, he comes back, man.
He's
he's in the right state of mind. You don't do 50, 40, 90 under stress.
No.
Word. And be mindful, he ain't taking no playoff games off.
Nah.
He coming to shut people up.
I mean, I know he said, well, I'm not focused on basketball. Yeah, he ain't focused on right there at that moment. But when you step on that floor, man, that dude's a killer. Let's not.
Listen, he coming to hurt some people, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm cool with that. Cool.
It ain't the Knicks first round, so I'll be able to enjoy
it. Right. That's what I'm saying. It's Boston the first round, so I'm super cool with that.
Just like, but yeah, this is going to be a tough Eastern Conference to win, man. It's running through New York. I think so.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It really, because when you think about it, right, Boston and Brooklyn, they get through that the first round. Then it's you guys against if I'm right, and you guys get through Atlanta, you guys have the Sixers the second round, right?
It'll be the Sixers, yeah. We played them tough, but I don't know. That's gonna be kind of rough.
I actually like the Knicks against Philly.
They played them well. They really did. It was a few possessions. Well. There was a few possessions they couldn't score, and then
they need Mitch.
It's kind of the only thing about Philly that's always on the edge is can Embiid stay healthy an entire series? That's always just hanging over the team because of his whole history of injury. You just don't want it to happen again. And I'm like, man, those are teams I would never bet on because of that. I didn't when Miami made the Oladipo, I didn't even want that trade. But when they made it and I saw what they gave up, I was happy for that part. But I would never bet on anything to do with him because of the injuries. And, it just showed now the rumor is that he may miss the whole next season. So his money's not going to be there. I don't think no one's going to sign him. And if someone does sign him, he's on the boogie map now. Now he's going to get them boogie deals.
Yeah, he's in that Grammy work now. So, he'll be all right.
Yeah, true.
But like Philly and Washington, well, where do you see this matchup? How do you see this matchup shaking out?
So the two teams that I believe can pull off the upset in the first round is Miami over Milwaukee, even though for me I don't feel it's an upset because of how they match up. But I understand why most people do think it's an upset. The second one is Washington over Philly. No, don't get me wrong. My money says Philly. But if I'm picking an upset, I got Washington as the only team the first round that could pull off such an upset. Westbrook and now, don't get me wrong. I understand the Ben Simmons Defensive Player of the Year chance. Dude can defend. Even as good as a defender he is, he ain't fleecing none of these dudes in the backcourt. They're different, and I like Steph Curry's brother. I like all these people. Ain't nobody, man. That backcourt is different.
It's fun.
They're clicking now. They in the last 12, 13 games, they had like the second or third best record.
Yeah.
They're clicking. And a Russell Westbrook triple double, as much as people talk trash, that's a winning recipe this season.
Mm-hmm.
When him and Bradley Beal is healthy on the court together, that's been a winning thing. And I wouldn't sleep. But if somebody's like, yo, $100, I got the Sixers in 5.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a sleeper, I'm telling you, because I could see a game where, Tobias Harris is off. And Joel Embiid, you saw what Miami did to him. They frustrated these dudes. If Russell Westbrook get on his bully shit, Philly's not really mentally tough. These dudes folded like a wet paper bag when Miami bullied them. You got Dwayne Dedman bullying. I mean, come on. I mean, now Haslam is different. The dudes in the league know Haslam really fight. He different. So I understand them being scared that way, but come on, you got old dudes that you forgot was in the league bullying these dudes. And if Washington come out and they run through that game and they like, yo, we gotta punch these dudes in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Not literally, but on the court. They gotta punch them in the face and take their heart. Philly shows that they go out soft, man, and I'm physical. I mean, outside of, Joel Embiid talking trash, he's the troll master, but on that court is different, man. When Dwight Howard ain't the toughest dude. Like, if you could throw a lot of these dudes off, Miami showed you. Get these dudes off their game. Come on, Joel Embiid had a single in that game. He had a single. Dude had, I mean, come on, it was crazy. He had more turnovers than points. He had like 4 points, I think, or 6 points, and then he had like 5 or 6 turnovers. It was crazy. Miami's just warped them. And it wasn't like he played 10 minutes only and he was injured. The dude played and lost. And I just feel like that's the tape you watch when you play in these 7 games.
And then, like, the key to Washington winning this series, Hachimura has to play defense on Harris.
Oh, man. Word.
And this Washington team has something that the others really don't. You could throw Robin Lopez, Gafford, or Alex Len at Embiid, just throwing bodies at him.
Yeah.
And Washington plays fast, so you get them in foul trouble. I mean, Dwight Howard's going to, pick up some technicals. He'll elbow somebody in the mouth or something, get thrown out. But you run Embiid up and down that floor and throw those big bodies at him.
You got a chance.
I mean,
it happened. I'm telling you, that's the one upset I got on the East. If anything happens, is that one.
That shakes the room.
I don't see how Boston beats Brooklyn, and it ain't happening. Some things I just ain't seeing happening. But I could see Washington pulling off. But if they don't come on, if they don't win that first game, they ain't coming from behind against the Sixers. Sixers show that when they're on, they're on. That's why they're the number 1 team in the East, man. It ain't because the East is it ain't the normal cakewalk we used to say it was. The East had some real tough teams this year. Yeah. Milwaukee really played. Milwaukee was spanking dudes on the West. And we know where Brooklyn's at, so it ain't like the Sixers had a cakewalk. They played against some tough teams too, and they held that number 1 spot, even though they went from 1 second, third, 1 second. It was like them and Brooklyn was going back and forth on who was going to be the top team, and they was able to hold on. So, if Washington lose that first game, the series is done. Yeah. You can't come behind. You ain't coming from behind. They ain't pulling a 3-1 Golden State. It ain't happening.
Well, Philly on a roll is a different team, but yeah, they need that. Washington needs that first game. Philly's almost unstoppable at home.
Yeah, and that crowd is serious, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's another disrespectful crowd.
Oh, Philly? Oh, God.
On so many levels.
Word.
They don't give a damn.
Disrespectful.
You mentioned the next upset special. We're gonna get into that series. Your team, Miami Heat, going against Milwaukee. Giannis, I feel is a different player this year than what he was last year. I mean, he's taking threes with confidence. He's knocking down that mid-range a little bit.
Yeah, and it looks smooth, too.
Yeah.
It do look smooth.
I like that P.J. Tucker pickup. I like Bobby Portis. If Miami comes in with the same intensity they had last year, I see this going 7. I see Milwaukee in 7, only because of the home court. But I mean, Jimmy Butler's ready.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What you got?
So the way I see it is, I think they're gonna run the same thing they always run. They're gonna fleece Giannis. They're gonna make him a shooter, and he's gonna make more shots than he did last year. Um, the problem I got with Milwaukee, it sounds like that they're the definitive winner, is Miami got shooters, and they got unknown shooters like Strauss and Vincent Gabe. These dudes come off the bench and they shoot, and they ain't no real tape in them because they're just, if Duncan Robinson's in trouble, we got another 3-point sniper, and Drew Holiday only can defend but so much. Middleton is a good defender too, but they're gonna need Drew Holiday to be more than Bledsoe, and the difference can't just be a point. Their numbers are pretty much identical. And this year, Drew Holiday was not an elite defender that he's been in his career. He's a good defender this year, but he was not in any talks of any defensive anything. He was just good. He has not been the defender he was, and maybe it's because of the fit on the team. I don't know. First season on the team and all that, and maybe the playoffs he comes back to being that Drew, that two-way, lockdown, hurt your feelings guy. He hasn't been that guy so far, so that's why I'm not really worried. He's like Bledsoe 2.0 right now. That's how this season's played out. The numbers are pretty much almost identical. One number off here, half a number off there. The defense was a little bit better. Not even a lot better, which is crazy because career-wise, his defense is way better. But this season, his defense was only a little bit better than Bledsoe's last year. And I just feel like Miami is way more confident. I don't know if you guys saw the press conference with Antetokounmpo talking.
Oh yeah. He said he's not sure
What?
if it's the same. What? Yeah. Huh?
That lack of confidence threw me. Now I don't know if he's playing a game plan. That's some shit that the '90s players would do. They throw you off psychologically. I don't know if that's what he's trying to do, but if I'm watching that and I'm on the Heat, I'm like, oh, this dude's scared. Like, and now we're gonna really hurt his feelings. Like that's how especially if I'm Butler. Like this dude, if I'm thinking like that. I don't know. I just don't feel the confidence in that team. Now, Drew Holiday, he does speak, with confidence. He's like, yeah, we're more talented than them. He said some things that I'm like, you know what? That's how you're supposed to talk. What's wrong with your leader? I just was not comfortable with Giannis the way he spoke going into the playoffs. I don't think that, I think he's going to still do a double-double. He's still going to put up some good numbers. He's not putting up his numbers. And that's why they're going to lose.
I'll tell you one thing. I bet you he'll guard Jimmy Butler at the end of the game this year.
Yeah. I didn't like how he just went and blamed the coach.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling that.
Yeah.
You the
And they're all in
star.
the hot seat.
It's like they said, you the star. You supposed to tell him, I want that.
Yep, I want him.
I want that. And he definitely learned his lesson. And I just don't know if I don't know. I just don't know if his confidence is there, to be honest. I don't know. It's gotta hurt that last season, in the regular season, Miami was punching them in the face. And then people were like, nah, the playoffs is gonna be different. And then they lost in 5. They didn't take it to 7. It was a gentleman's sweep. Like they lost in 5. And I honestly feel like that's gonna weigh on him, man. He ain't the same. He ain't a killer. I know that people always say, man, he's so aggressive. I get all that. But he ain't a killer in them playoffs, man. He's not a killer. Now, people do progress. Things could change. Mm-hmm. But going into it, when the teams are doing their playoff press conference, the doubt that came out of him just was not comfortable. Mm-hmm. And it just made me really say, yeah, Miami's definitely going to win this series. And I could be wrong, and I'm cool with that. But I that's one that I'm not just rooting Miami. I'd bet Miami. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I'm that comfortable on that series, and it's because the lack of confidence. It's because and I don't go by record-wise. Their record isn't as good. I feel like they're a better team, even with the record not being as good. I feel like the East is just better this year than last year anyway, so your record's not going to be as good. I feel like you're playing against a better Philly now, which you had to meet them 3 times instead of 4 because of the thing. But this ain't the Philly from last year. This definitely ain't the Brooklyn from last year. It ain't the New York from last year. It ain't even the Atlanta from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So them not having the same 60-win record or whatever, that's not a knock on them not being as good. They play better teams.
Yep.
More often than not. So I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at, the additions. How big was it? Drew Holiday wasn't that big of a difference maker from Bledsoe. It was a little difference, not a lot. I like the Bobby Portis add-on. I think in the playoffs, he's going to be a good extra body to throw on somebody. He's big. He's physical. He's known to get into fights. He ain't scared. I like him in that Miami Heat physical, beat him up, push him up matchup. I think he's going to be a slight difference maker. But other than that, I don't feel like Middleton and Middleton had one game that was like a career game last year in the playoffs that he just went off.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was over after that. But I think him and Giannis is going to be like, if they lose that first game, I 100% believe they're going to be like, damn, here we go again. And it's over. They need that first game more than anybody else in the series needs it.
Mm-hmm.
Any other playoffs, nobody need a first game more than Milwaukee for their confidence, because you gave this dude that super max contract. Both years, they didn't live up to where they were supposed to be.
Championship.
And now you made moves, you tweaked your roster. You need that. You need that more than anybody. Or the hammers are coming down, and the talk is going to be there, and it's just not going to be good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Milwaukee. I think them playing at home is going to make a huge difference. But I can definitely see Miami pushing them to the 7th game. Oh, you got any thoughts on this one, Jacob?
It's going to be a fun one to watch. It's going to be tough, like Jason said. It's going to be a knockout, drag out, and Butler's going to come with it. Let's see if Tyler steps it up. You got Bam again. He's looking good. He's looking healthy. So it's all going to come down to Giannis. This is his staple. You always had that Milwaukee's the championship team. This is your time now. This
Yep.
East is for the taking right now.
Yep.
If you can, it's there. I want to see him step it up to hit your jumpers, get to the rim. If they start walling up on you, find your open teammate. This is when your vision has to be on point. You see Middleton in there, you got to see it before the play even just goes down. Get it to him, because that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to get hot. What did Miami do? We talked about it all last play. Wall up. You stay right there. You stay
Yep.
right there just in case he gets to the rim. Everybody collapsed on him. He could not find his open shooters. Now he has shooter. DiVincenzo looked good. Holiday could not.
Yeah,
now
that's right.
Middleton-
That's right. I forgot about him. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Vincenzo. He does look good. Yeah, I forgot that.
But it's going to be tough. Like I can see it going 7. I'm going to go with Milwaukee. But as I always say, not my MVP with Giannis, because I have my reservations about him. But like Jason said, you better believe the Heat win this series, the talking's going to get louder. And
Yeah.
we'll see.
And they're so financially locked in that they're not going to be able to really improve the roster, but so much.
No.
It's going to be hard to improve. If they fail first round exit, where do you go with that roster? You gave Drew money. You gave Middleton money. You gave Giannis the super money. Where do you go? You can't really make but so much more improvements. And what kind of trade do you pull off? Like it's really going to be hard for them if it's going to be really hard for them if they lose this first round moving forward as a franchise.
Absolutely.
Budenholzer's going to get fired, I'll tell you that.
Someone's going to go. Yeah.
Taking a look out west, we have a couple of matchups that were from previous years. One from last year, Dallas and the Clippers. I'm excited to see this matchup. Clippers won this last year, kind of bullied Dallas along the way. Bit of a bit of a reversal now. Clippers, I think they're much mentally tougher this year than they were last year. I think Dallas is very, very weak mentally. KP, Luca picking up all the technicals.
Crying all the time.
Oh yeah.
Man, I really don't think Dallas has a chance in this series. I have the Clippers in 5.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with you on this one. It's crazy because it felt like last year they was a hurt KP away from pulling up the Clippers upset,
Mm-hmm.
and then this year it's like, why y'all crying so much? Like, dude, you come on, man. I agree with you. I think mentally they checked out in every game. It feels like that they just try to shoot and run their way into everything, but they're not mentally there. And then, Clippers being the team that eliminated them, I don't see them being there for it. Headspace ain't gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
No.
Plus PG and Kawhi coming out for blood.
Oh no, for blood. They ain't even trying to. I don't even think they want to make it as close as it was last year.
No.
Because that left a lot of what ifs when that series was over. Oh, what if KP didn't get hurt? What if people really was what if in that Clippers team? I think they punched them in the face hard, and it go, and like you said, in 5, it goes away fast.
This roster is much. I don't know if it's much better, but they're much more tougher than they were last year. The Lou Williams and the Montrezl Harrell, yeah, they can score, and they'll try to get in your face, but it's like they were. They thought they were better than what they were. Now you got Cousins coming in; he has something to prove. You got Rondo. It's playoff Rondo time, so. I mean, these Clippers are here. Marcus Morris, he's not going to go for the same thing twice.
Word.
So, Clippers out to bully Ty Lue. It's going to be cakewalk for this team.
I feel like, and I'm with you, I feel like the difference is they're not going to play with cockiness, but they're going to play with confidence. And that's where they're going to get their head straight, and they're going to hurt some people, man. I got Clippers for sure. I'm with you at 5. I'm not going to – I don't think I have a different number than that.
Yeah, I'm going to triple up on that one. I just think this is going to be a big series for PG, I think, because this is when he sets it off like, hey, I'm back. I'm PG. I'm one of the premier players in the league. Let's not forget about what I can do both sides of the floor. I can drop 30 on your head. I can do whatever I want on that floor. And let's erase that, pandemic P, backboard P. Let's erase all those monikers out of there. And it's his time.
Yeah. I don't think no one needs that more than him in the whole league right now. Because, it don't feel like we're going to give that to Harden anymore. Oh, in the playoffs, he in a good space right now. But I think Paul George, more than anybody, needs to really put his foot on someone's neck in these series. And unfortunately for a young team like Dallas, they the victims.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think Dallas was that good to begin with. I mean, just shows you how good Luka is. But this series here is going to show that they're going to break up that Luka KP combination in the offseason, start that all over again. We'll try to find somebody for KP and we work that deal. I think Cuban got buyer's remorse.
For real. I don't even think they think about it. I don't think they like each other either. Luka and KP. I don't think they like each other as
they don't seem like they play in unison at times.
No. And then KP, see Charmin. See, I'm gonna nickname him Charmin. I'm not gonna call him KP. No, that's the New York nickname we gave him. Charmin. All right. Man, I don't know what they're gonna do. They wanted him. They got him. Yeah.
I mean, listen. In defense of, both teams. I remember when KP got drafted. I was there. I was there in the building, and the amount of disappointment was widespread. Nobody wanted him. Then Kevin Durant stamped him the unicorn, and it was well deserved for a minute. But them injuries, man, and I really think Mark Cuban probably thought, "Oh, we're gonna get a healthy version of this guy," and it just never. He's gonna be another one of those Penny Grant Hill careers, not to their level because he's not. But what I mean is, we're always gonna wonder what right now. I mean, of course, especially Knicks fans are gonna be laughing and being like, if it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have got this, and we're doing well now. So, it's good to do that. But I think in 5, 6, 7 years, when another dude from his hometown, or 10 years from now, comes and we'll be like, oh, remember this dude? Dan, dude could have been great.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to be the guy that could have been great. Because he had greatness. For you guys,
Yes.
it looked like he had
killed
greatness for his future.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Phil Jackson.
So I think he's going to be the guy that would have been great, but we're never going to see it. And I wouldn't bet money that he finishes an entire career either.
I won't say, because he's so young. He's 20, 25 now. I won't say he can't do it. It's possible because, as KG says, it's anything's possible. But
but height.
The height and his knees.
It's hard to get over them leg injuries, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he better take the Blake Griffin route. I'm telling you, just take those jumpers. That's how you extend your career.
Yeah.
Just start stepping back, take those jumpers, take no chances.
He's stepping back enough. Yeah. How he's damn near at half court right now.
Listen, hey, if it works, it works, right?
Listen, if Dallas would have found a way to get like a Miles Turner, I think that then he could have lived outside.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because they need someone relevant. Because if not, he's gonna have to keep banging bodies. He's not gonna have a choice. And it's gonna just keep him on the shelf. We haven't seen this dude play a whole season. And it's unfortunate because, he is talented. And I would have liked to see someone his height do the things that he was starting to show that he was doing. To be able to do that for long term, as a fan, we in for a treat. But I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be rough because he did have that nice stretch when he was scoring like 30 a night for the Knicks. It was fun to watch. And I didn't boo him because you know what I did? I went to YouTube. YouTube's a hell of a thing. And I started typing in because I'm hearing, Kristaps Porzingis. I'm like, let me see what the hell this kid. I'm watching his workout videos and I'm like, wait a minute. This kid looks crazy. Maybe this might be a good thing. But it just happened that night in Milwaukee, man. That's when it started. He went down and we were like, oh, here we go again. But
it panned out. Listen, I don't remember I don't know if it was in this group or not, but someone had made some comment about LeBron, New York and all this stuff, and they were like, oh, he should have never left Cleveland. And I'm like, wait a minute. But if he doesn't go to LA, Julius Randle doesn't go to New York.
He doesn't go to New York, exactly.
So like in some long connected manner, LeBron going to LA was dope for y'all.
Exactly. And it was
him leaving Cleveland is dope. Like that's dope for y'all. Somebody was like, oh, he should have never left Cleveland. And I'm saying, dude, you a Knicks fan. Like you should be like, good he left Cleveland.
Randall has been good. And that was pretty much down to, and I'm sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings. And I was talking to him. I'm like, listen, we ain't got nobody to get. I mean, I guess Julius Randle would be, if he could be a Zach Randolph for us, maybe. And that's what I was hoping for. I was like, he could be a 20-10 guy. He can be, I don't know. And I said, I don't know if he can be the main guy. Right. But I think he's young enough to actually be on this team for a long time. We signed him 3 years, $63 million. Everybody's like, oh, the Knicks are done. I'm like, listen, Julius Randle, he's not bad. You saw what he can do in a league. Not bad. I don't mind it. I wish we get more pieces, but we didn't. It took a year. He stopped the spend cycle. He got the coaching, and that Kenny Payne, he did his thing with them, and you see what happens. The Knicks actually doing things smart.
Man, that coaching and that administration was such a difference for you.
That's it. That's all it
took.
To
see Julius Randle hustle the way he does on both ends is that's just that. See, that's that special. That's why I said y'all remind me of the Heat that went to the finals. No one had them going out of the first round. Nobody.
I would take that.
And it just reminds me when I watch, like, the games that I do watch, and I'm like, damn, this dude, like, that's the same hustle that I used to be proud of Butler, Bam, and all that. I'm like, yeah, I'm proud of these little scrappy ass dudes. Like, I'm loving it. And like when I watched y'all team, I'm like, yo, they hustled the same. Like, I know that, we tend to lean towards the definitives, right? Sixers should be definitely winning. Milwaukee, Brooklyn. Those are the the Lakers. These are always our definitives, right? The teams that we expect to win. but Miami showed that don't always work.
Nope.
And I wouldn't bet against a scrappy team.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Pistons no team in history made me a believer like them.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a team that they shouldn't have been nowhere close to where they got. And then they won it all. And they won it all against,
Karl Malone,
Karl
Gary
Gary
Payton,
Payton, Kobe, and Shaq.
Shaq.
And there's no way they were supposed to do that. But they were in the heads of the Lakers. And then Kobe and GP wasn't getting along. Karl Malone and Kobe wasn't getting. It was a perfect time to be a Rasheed Wallace and a Ben Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
Tough dudes who get in your head, who ain't afraid of nobody. That was a perfect time to be them dudes.
Perfect.
And I just feel like the Knicks could be a super, and I just feel like they could be that scrappy, tough, surprising team that right now, most people are saying Atlanta in 7. And then next thing you know, you're talking about the Eastern Conference Finals. You're like, I can't believe the Knicks did it. Like, it's just such a scrappy team that I believe that's an anything is possible team. Same way I felt with my team last year. I feel that with your team this year. That's an anything is possible team.
If it happens, Leon, you won't see Leon. I might be hosting this damn show. Leon will be like, what the hell just happened?
I'm like going witness protection and shit. So.
I'll find you.
Another thing, like back to the West quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, the expectation is either the Clippers or the Lakers. And
Mm-hmm.
the only reason I don't got the Suns is I think the Lakers play better against the Suns than most teams. Most teams wouldn't be able to beat the Suns. I just feel like the Lakers have what it takes to beat them. Because, it's kind of like boxing, right? Styles make matchups and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like the Lakers style is superior. Now, against another team, that may be a different story. And that's why I think it was important for the Lakers to get the Suns instead of the Jazz while they're getting their feet back. While LeBron is getting into healthy mode and all that. So they could afford that with the Suns more than they could with the Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. The Jazz could be the Western Conference champions.
Oh, absolutely.
I haven't seen a reason to believe – and, LeBron is always the default factor. But I haven't seen a legitimate reason or an argument that says anyone beats Utah in 7 on the West.
I had the Clippers taking the West.
But Denver, man.
I still have.
But Denver, Jamal Murray, that changed everything for me.
That's very true, but MPJ kind of stepped it up as well.
He has, but
Denver's not getting past Portland.
Listen, damn,
I got Portland.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Damn, we was gonna get to that, but I'm gonna bring it out right now. You know what time it is, man.
Oh, you punching the clock.
I'm punching that goddamn clock, man. I just want to see Dame put it on him, man.
Word, man.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. Denver, Portland, man. Another matchup we had before. Portland blew the lead. Denver took the series.
Yeah.
Portland last year had the Lakers. I mean, is it Dame time this year? TJ McCollum, did they finally get it right?
I hope.
The problem is the second round, Portland, if the Lakers win, Portland gets a probably more locked in Lakers. And that's where it ends, man. I just and I want Dame to really pull up an upset, man, so badly. Because this is a dude he's so hard-nosed, man. Ain't too many dudes that just put it all on the floor like him, and he don't back down for nobody. But the luck of the draw.
Yep, that's it right there. You get it, and hopefully they all get hot. And plus, I want to see my dude Melo. I want to see it. I want to see him get his. But he said that LA team. But I honestly got Phoenix. I really think Chris Paul's coming.
Nice.
I think Phoenix in 6. Don't sleep on him because Chris Paul, half coach of the year. Shout out to Monty, but let's not forget about Chris Paul. But
listen, Chris Paul has shown anywhere he went, when counted out, they still were relevant, which is crazy. How he did that to OKC, I'll never fathom. Never. I would die not figuring that out. Because that was ridiculous. They were supposed to be a lottery team, and he figured it out, man. I don't know what he does, but He's the ultimate leader on the court.
Yes, he is. And it's just awesome to see him play. That's why he's my favorite point guard. He just does everything on the floor. Everybody, oh, he won. I mean, everybody's a vet, man. You want all your calls. I don't care who you are. You're a vet on the floor. You want your damn calls. But with Booker, him, and you got everybody playing at such an like elite level. I mean, you got Bridges, three kind of guy. Man, you got what's his name? Cameron Payne with his ugly ass shot. You see him he getting buckets too. DeAndre Ayton, the man in the middle. The guy
if he's on, it's different series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
If he's on.
Him and AD going at it.
Series.
Yeah, because Drummond is an absolute no-show.
Oh man, it's like he got to the best situation he could be in and was like, I'm gonna just chill now. I'm good.
like playoffs. Yeah. He's like, yes, I made it finally.
I'm like, dude, you forgot about them doubles that you don't even make an effort to get.
It's
now
crazy.
I ain't never seen nothing like that, man.
Yeah, me either.
It was literally a drop off from exit to enter. It wasn't even like he just immediately dropped off.
So
I'm like, wait, is he pulling a play on us and he's gonna do some crazy shit in the playoffs? Because dude's still in his 20s. Like, there's no way you should have fell off that quick.
Nah, no. I don't know what happened. Boy, he looked like he
was
out of shape.
His role is like literally it's etched out and defined. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to be a powerhouse scorer. We got guys for this. You ain't never been a shooter. We got guys for this. Mm-hmm. Get in that paint. Get us that ball.
Yep.
He ain't even doing that. Something he's elite at. He ain't just good. He's elite at it. And he ain't been good at all. I don't understand him.
It's really one of the most mind-boggling things I've ever seen. Like, that's why I have the Suns winning the series in 7. But, like, Drummond's drop-off is like, would you take Drummond or Kwame Brown?
Kwame Brown.
At this stage, I think everyone's gonna say Kwame because he bringing smoke.
I'm going Mr. Brown because where this is going now, I don't want to be on that hit list, man. He's got names and receipts.
I mean,
I'll tell you. You know what's so impressive is that I honestly feel like dude had to endure a lot, right? And people be like, yeah, but he was a bust. He deserved it. Whatever. He ate a lot. I think that it got to a point where it was people that actually knew him that spoke. And that's probably when he was like, wait a minute, I know you.
Yeah.
And, like, the stuff he's saying is so personal. He's like, dude, I know you. Like, I know you're not built this way. So when other people saying, all these analysts, experts, they don't really know me. So I'm not responding. But you, that's kind of how I felt when he unleashed. He's like, wait, you? Nah, I'm not having it no more. Now I'm tired. And, man, he's been solid.
You call your show All the Smoke, but you want some of the smoke.
Some of the smoke. Oh, but he said that I almost dropped the phone. I was watching. I was like, oh, no, this dude is too much. Yeah, he's been money, man.
You gotta climb the gate to get to your house. Send some gas money.
I'll say, man, he is definitely I don't understand why people keep messing with him, man.
No. And it leads to something else. Like, we know, like, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, they got their own award-winning podcast. They do their own thing. They interview a lot of people. I mean, the power of the mic is something, and that influence is heavy. And then you can see he's taking it out on Stephen A., Rachel Nichols, Jamil Hill, El Bouchard got some. Charlamagne got some.
Word. He. But you know what it is that now he's in role, right? And he's just fluid. And I think he's feeling like, wait a minute, after I said this, y'all still gonna say something? All right, you next. And that's pretty much where it's at. His headspace seems to be at. I think this was well deserved. I feel like he should have said what he said. I'm happy he addressed it originally to people he knew personally. So that way people didn't think it was like, oh, he just taking random shots at a Stephen A. Smith who don't know him, right? Or Rachel Nichols who never really got to know him. So like those came after they commented his back and forth. So then he's like, oh, now you want to get in? All right, you next. But I like that his original coming out, so to speak, was against the three dudes that know him on a personal level. So he's like, wait a minute, not y'all. I know y'all. And did you see the thing that Gilbert Arenas said about the club with Kwame and his brother?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
He posted it. It's on, I don't know if it's on Instagram or Twitter, but you can look it up. And he was like, yo, you know, it's all good, whatever's being said. He's like, but I'm going to keep it real. One time they went a club and Kwame Brown and his brother beat up 6 bouncers.
Yeah.
And that him and Larry Hughes was there. So if he brought Larry Hughes in it. So I don't think he's just making it up. He's like, that him and Larry Hughes stood there and was like, yo, I guess they don't need us. But he's letting it be known, dude really could fight. He might have been a bust on the court. He might not have been mentally ready at 18. And, you know, we'll call him a bust. And he's not mentally ready. And maybe that broke him down. But apparently he don't bring it to him.
Yeah. But nah, Matt Barnes did get him with the line. You can't be mad at me. Be mad at MJ for believing in you. That brought me to tears. I was like,
that right there is an award-winning line.
I was like, oh, I would have that would have hurt a lot of people. When I say gun smoke, I mean he loaded it up. He aimed for the dome, and he just
yeah.
But I think MJ had a good. I really think MJ also. Him and Doug Collins had a lot to do with him faltering. The way he did in the league too.
Well, you did see that thing where it said that MJ only drafted him because he was going to trade him for Elton Brand.
Yeah.
He was like that. That weighed on him. He was never wanted from day one. So they never played him right. They didn't care about him. He got yelled at, and then he was even saying that he got yelled at when he was sitting on the bench. It wasn't even in the play. And they took out stuff on. So as an 18-year-old, he wasn't ready.
No, not at all.
He wasn't ready for the league. He should have went to college a year and got some of that college coaching.
Facts. Yep.
But
because he just wasn't mentally ready.
No, he wasn't mentally ready.
Yeah, he wasn't. It's sad.
But I think he was. I think he was deserving of that pick, though.
No. He was. Listen.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of those things like they did with Anthony Bennett, and everybody was like, Google, because we don't know what the hell they were doing. Picking this dude first. We got to Google this dude because I don't remember this dude.
Guy.
Yeah. So it wasn't that he didn't at the time. He was deserving, but you know, we don't know his mental mindset. We don't know what really went on until now. It's all coming out, but we didn't know that. You know, one, he wasn't wanted by anybody. You know, they treated him like trash. He's the number 1 pick, and they treated him like trash. Like, we didn't know none of this stuff until all this came out. So, you know, it makes you say, damn, in hindsight, I kind of can understand where his career went wrong. He just wasn't built for it that way. And then when you hear all the stories Charlemagne said about his dad, you know, killed someone, and then his brother killed someone, and all this crazy stuff, and they all went to jail, and all these stories they were saying about his family, and that's why he went in on Charlemagne. But, you know, like the kid, I don't think this kid ever had a shot mentally.
No.
I'm happy, like he said, you know, he's a millionaire. He lasted 12 years in the league. I'm happy that he was able to do all the things and live his dream, but I don't think he mentally had a shot, and nobody knew that.
No.
Yeah,
kind of like
punk
Eddie
ass
kind of
bitch.
deal too.
Punk ass.
He just and now he like the school shooter, right? The guy that's just tired. Like, all right, that's it. 20 years, y'all violated my name on this bus thing. Now I'm knocking people out. I'm tired. I'm shooting the school right now, and he definitely letting off.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, Leon, I'm working on it. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
Steven Jackson wanted no parts of it.
Oh no. He's like, you big woke ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
Man.
Going around wearing dresses. And he was going off on that. I mean.
But how Duke called Matt Barnes Becky with the good hair?
Yo.
Yo.
You'll be taking all. You got your girl drunk.
Oh,
Derek, who you said while you watching your girl? Who's watching Derek Fisher? Ooh.
Oh, man. And he's so personal with it. Then he brought up that case that Charlemagne had, that rape case and all that. I said, oh, man, he don't care. And you know what? Nobody was kind how they criticized him. So he ain't being kind.
Nope. It's like a battle round. When they do their research, he did his research. he went. He's like, okay, but
Yeah,
yeah,
he
man,
pulled out details,
oh
man.
my god. But yeah, Matt Barnes can't really talk about nobody because Derek Fisher was coaching right into your nose, and you know,
Word, word,
he said, hey,
word.
slide in.
Call him up. Yeah, and he did do a lot of emotional shit. So it kind of does make Kwame's, his words more valid because it don't even seem like he making nothing up.
Mm-hmm. Damn,
Your
that's a lot.
mentor, your stepdaddy, because he's your mentor too. Oh my God. But
Oh man, yo, we score update right quick. Golden State was down 22-11, and now they have pulled it within 2, and the crowd is getting loud. Somebody just hosted up a 3. That was who the hell is number 3? Who the hell is that dude?
oh, for
He's like
Memphis?
he's like a great value Trey Young. Now he's on the Warriors. No, I'm dead serious when you look at him. I'm like,
Is it that kid Anderson?
is that his name? Number 3? I don't know. I really don't know who the hell it is.
What's it? No, that ain't him. Let me tell you.
Nah, I just what
Oh, Jordan Poole.
is that Jordan Poole?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, great value Trey Young. That's his name.
number 3 is Jordan Poole.
Oh okay.
Oh
Golden
man.
State takes the lead. All right.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good. This might be a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Kwame, I'm working on that, man. I'm like, listen, we want the
But
smoke.
listen, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm So I don't want to get too much into like our personal stuff, but
Right.
I worked in Bellevue Psych since like
Mhm.
2003,
Mhm.
and I've seen a lot of Kwame Browns.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm telling you, he's the school shooter right now.
Yo.
And
Yeah.
I don't say it to bring up any hurt feelings from those incidents,
No,
but
but it
that's
just
literally who he is right now. He is he tired,
because he was
tired of being
quiet for
bullied.
years,
Profile.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was quiet
tired of
for
being bullied, and
years.
he is busting his gun right now.
And he have all, and that's the thing. Why would you go at somebody that probably had so much on you?
Right, and he know them personally. It ain't like
Mhm.
they were passerbys. They
Mhm.
know each other personally.
Exactly. They've been on the road with guys, and just they
Word.
talk. And Gilbert Arenas shouldn't be really talking either, because man,
Yeah, he had a heck of a personal life. He needs to really
yeah, he was a bocce, all right.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh Lord,
yeah. Any of you guys catch the Hall of Fame speeches?
I did, man.
Yesterday?
I had to catch KG's too. I had to. That
Yeah. I thought it was weird that Rondo didn't get mentioned.
yo, I
Now I understand the Ray Allen thing. They're gonna hold grudges even when
yeah,
they pretend to squash the beef.
mhm.
That's fake. I know that they still don't like each other. I'm cool
Of
with
course
that.
not. Of course
But
not.
He ain't. Is it because Rondo playing in LA? Like I didn't understand
I
why
didn't
he.
get it either.
I
I
said,
made
whoa. I was like, no Rondo mentioned. I thought that was odd.
Yeah, and KG's he a straight shooter too. He ain't no guy to forget anything,
Word.
anything. So it might be something there, but yeah, it was really good seeing this guy from like his whole. Everybody knows I'm a KG fan. That's my guy. Watching his whole career, just it's like he talks so much. Like he talks so much shit. That's why I liked him. And he backed it up.
Word.
I can't
Word.
wait to see. I got his book too. I'm gonna read that one, but it was just the start of the whole Showtime thing, his documentary. Shout out to Leon because I didn't even know that was coming out. When he said Pat Riley was like, I came here to see a high school guy. What the fuck is going on? KG was like, he's blocking people, and at the end he dunked and said, motherfucker, you know why you here now? I just that's him. His whole
Yeah.
career, Honey Nut
Yeah.
Cheerios. He didn't give a fuck. Like he was just coming. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she hated him. She could not stand Kevin Garnett. Y'all watch it again. I can't stand that black motherfucker. I mean,
Oh man.
my God. But just everything about him, just his mid range, such a leader on the floor. He wore his heart on his sleeve, on his jersey. Man, that guy, it was just something else. I felt some kind of way about Rudy Tom Donovan though, because he was just mentioning him, and I'm just 94 all over again. I'm like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Ewan should have had his championship. I would have been good. And then Tim Duncan too. I was like, oh, 99, yeah, whatever. Shut the fuck
But
up.
I like it was nice to hear Tim Duncan.
It was.
It was nice, especially that he was never really the most vocal dude in the media or in personal. Or you only know the things that was allowed to be known.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice to see a little more of that. I was a little touched by that. I was like, that was
Absolutely.
really nice.
It was good. You could tell he didn't do stuff like that a lot because he was getting choked up, talking about
Yeah,
everything. But where he came from, man, it's just I love seeing stuff like that. Like
yeah, man.
basically all you got is swimming, basketball. He's like when the island flood or whatever, he couldn't do it, so he went to basketball. He showed the court where he put his hours in and his time to become the one of the greatest, if not the greatest, power forward like ever. And
Yeah.
it's just amazing, man. It's just really amazing. But yeah, and then they ended it with Vanessa. That
Uh,
that I don't get choked up by a lot of stuff. Like I said, celebrity deaths don't really do stuff. Besides DMX, really, because you grow up listening to people, you
right,
just
right, right. That's different.
crazy.
Yeah.
But Kobe, that's another one. You watched, dude. I remember the whole Brandy thing, taking us to the prom and all that. Seeing this dude,
Word.
second coming to Jordan. He will always be the second coming to Jordan to me because every move Jordan did, Kobe did, closest to Jordan we're ever going to see. But just seeing
Listen,
the strength of his
nobody did
basketball.
homework like Kobe.
No. You talking about student of the game, man? You need to put a picture of student and game and Kobe Bryant right in the middle, because.
Word.
But yeah, for her to go up there, I couldn't even imagine just losing. Obviously, your wife or her case, her husband, then her daughter. I couldn't imagine just the strength that she has to
I
go
couldn't have
up
done it.
there. I just, and you can see in her face, and she's just like, and she was strong, man. And it just sucks that Kobe couldn't be there. It
Yeah,
really just, damn, to this day, it's just wild. Is that him and Gianna
yeah.
just couldn't be there. I just,
I'm with you on that. Like celebrity deaths don't really
hmm
get me. Outside of like Macho Man Randy Savage,
hmm
that was my guy, man.
yeah.
When he left, it felt like one of my uncles was gone. I was like, man, not the Macho Man. And
I
then you don't really feel that because, like, I don't really connect with celebrities, so
hmm
Right.
I didn't really feel. But when Kobe, man, that was different too.
hmm
Kobe and X was definitely two different. I'm with you on that.
It's just so weird because guys put so much into their crafts, and then you listen to them so much, and then you see all this they go through, and you're just like, what the fuck, man? Just how Kobe died, like that shit is just, it's just wild. Like, dude, plane crash, like what? I mean, everybody knew it was. I thought it was a hoax. I'm pretty sure everybody thought it was a hoax. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. And then you see they start showing the pictures, and I'm like, wait a minute,
Yeah,
what?
that was crazy, man.
I, yeah, man, that's one of the things I don't think we ever gonna forget, man. Because that,
But she was so strong.
yeah, she
She
was.
definitely. I'll never forget that speech. And not so much for the words, but for
hmm
the poise and the
hmm
the, the ability to stand there and do that. I don't have that in me
Yeah,
yet.
she didn't break
I don't
down
think I
at
can do
all.
that.
Yeah,
Word.
I would have been balling. I was like, whew. But yeah, it was a good one. It was one of the, I would say, one of the best Hall of Fame classes, man.
Yeah.
It definitely got to be up there. It's just, and as I said, my childhood's over now. No KG, no Dirk, no damn Duncan now. I mean,
Yeah.
ain't nobody. It's just
Nah.
crazy. All the guys that fucked up my childhood.
I mean, now we get to look forward to next year with Chris Webber and
Yeah.
unfortunately Paul Pierce, Ben
Yeah.
Wallace in there.
My man said, unfortunately, Paul
Yeah,
Pierce.
man. Fuck Paul Pierce, man.
Yeah. I
Respectfully.
never been a fan of his, man.
uh,
I
Oh,
never liked Paul Pierce, man.
oh my God.
but
You
see
know,
what?
it's because back when he was with Antoine Walker in
hmm
Boston,
hmm
I ain't never seen two dudes. They're like Luca and KP. I ain't never seen two dudes complain so much.
hmm
I know that we give LeBron all the flack from being a crybaby,
hmm
but dudes forgot. Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker was
hmm
the most crying dudes I've ever seen in NBA history.
hmm
Back then, Paul Pierce matured a little as time went on, but I
hmm
already didn't like him. It messed up everything. When they
hmm
was young, he was like how Luca is now, crying on every play. And
hmm
and it's making me. I like Luca last year, but this year I'm kind of tired of this kid.
Like, shut
Like, dude,
your
just
ass up.
play. And
hmm
that's what happened with Paul Pierce. I respected his story.
hmm
He come from the streets. I mean,
hmm
he's not a punk, So I respected that he made it from there to there, and then he'd be crying all the time, like, yo, stop. And then Antoine Walker, it's not like they were bums. These
Nah.
dudes were shooters. They were talented, but they
hmm
cried every play, and I just couldn't stand them, man.
hmm
Oh,
Yeah.
it was wild. Ben Wallace getting in, Tony Kukoc is getting in.
I like that. I like that. He
Yeah,
deserved it. He was just as good. He was just an integral part of that team as everybody else was, man. He definitely.
I love when the defenders get in there.
Yeah,
The
Ben
guys who
Wallace.
ain't averaging 25. I
Mm-hmm.
love when they get in because it shows you that basketball is more than just scoring. And I love when Rodman got in with his whole
Mm-hmm.
entire life being crazy. I'ma
Mm-hmm.
love Ben Wallace getting in.
Yo, listen, you out there taking planes to go turn out Carmen Electra and then going back to play, going back to pass through, man.
Yo,
You are
that
legend.
man,
Legendary. Dennis
word.
fucking Rodman, boy.
I've always been for the defenders, man. I love when defensive players get that acknowledgement
Mm-hmm.
because defensive player of the year is always the afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Nobody remembers every year's winner. We remember the MVPs. We even remember the All-Star MVPs, and that's just a fun award.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys, the Bruce Bowens and all these dudes,
Mm-hmm.
I always love them dudes
Oh
because
yeah.
they ain't gonna be the star of the team, but they will step to the star of the other team, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah, that's been wild. I mean, you remember that year where the Pistons, the whole All-Star squad basically made it. Their whole team made it. They
Word,
put the 5
word,
winning against the West, and they started shutting it down. And I'm like, oh shit.
man.
But you got to respect that whole that team, man. It was amazing. You talk about
And I
anyone else
tell you,
team defense.
outside of when Shaq was in Orlando,
Mhm.
Hakeem,
Mhm.
Robinson, Ewing, they,
Mhm.
they wanted to spank the young fella, right? When he was a young fella. But
Mhm.
when Shaq got to LA, dudes didn't want to bang with him in the
No.
paint.
Nope.
And then little old Ben Wallace came along. I mean, because
Huh.
LA Shaq was a more physical, he weighed more. He just was so much stronger.
Mhm.
And oh man, Ben Wallace didn't give two shits.
Nope.
And it was so different to see a lockdown defender like that on the most dominant dude ever and
Mhm.
make a difference.
Oh yeah. He
That was
took
big
care.
time.
I mean, cave dude's chest and cutting elbows for him. Ben Wallace was eating them like it was freaking yesterday's lunch.
Word. And didn't go anywhere. He didn't want to switch off. He wanted to stay there and battle. Dude was
Mhm.
different, and I love that he's getting in. Very well deserved.
C
Those
Web
are the
too.
type of inductions I like.
Mhm.
You're
C Web.
gonna get your stars, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah. Absolutely.
and Bosch is my dude. Without Bosch, we don't get titles.
Yeah. Oh
People
yeah.
people will say Ray Allen, but Bosch caught that rebound
He
with
was
3 or 4
big.
Spurs in the paint. He was the
Mhm.
only Heat player in
Mhm.
that play in the paint and got
Mhm.
that rebound. Pass it to Ray Allen. Then that block,
Mhm.
that 3-point block that was going to seal Miami.
Mhm.
Without Bosch, we don't get those. So he's my dude, but I'm
Mhm.
still more happy for Ben Wallace.
Oh, definitely. But Bosch, definitely. The thing I liked about Bosch is he was kind of like the first one, the first power forward to kind of transcend his game because he had to go around LeBron and Dwayne Wade. So he's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm not gonna put up my 20 and 10. I'll give you 17 and 7. I'll hit a
Yep.
few. He became a 3-point shooter, and it worked, man. Yeah, that big
They
three.
worked.
Y'all didn't win 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
like you said, but
LeBron
you
was
got
hype.
your rings. Yeah, yeah.
In LeBron's defense,
Mm.
they were all young,
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
on paper, it did look like they could win that.
Oh yeah.
But we all know paper and actual court
Hmm.
don't always match
Hey,
up.
rings is rings, man. One
Yeah,
is better than none. I don't
no,
listen.
for sure. Listen, I enjoyed the run.
Hmm.
I
I was a
never was
college
really
fan.
a LeBron fan, but I
Hmm.
was very thankful for him them 4 years. I'm not a hater either. I don't get into the whole LeBron versus anybody battles on the online or nothing because I just respect dude. His game is just unparalleled.
Hmm.
I don't think he's the GOAT,
Hmm.
but his game is unparalleled. I think one-on-one he can beat everybody's GOAT
Hmm.
on a one-on-one game. I think his physical prowess is just too much.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I never saw Jordan one-on-one defend anyone that big in his entire career. Uh, Not consistently. That never really happened because
Hmm.
he had Scotty, he had other guys to do that for him. So to me, I think the one-on-one LeBron can beat most of the players.
Hmm.
I just don't think he's the greatest player of all time. I think he's the best
All
two-way
around
player
play.
of all time. All around, there it is. I
Hmm.
think he's the best all-around player of all
Hmm.
time, but he's not the greatest player,
Okay.
and that's a difference.
There you go.
So,
Who's your goat?
yeah, but I'm thankful for him. Them 4 years. Woo! Woo, thank you.
Yeah.
But now that you're gone, man, I hope you lose.
Well,
But
who you
I'm
got?
not, I'm not going to pretend
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a huge LeBron fan,
Mm-hmm.
but I became one for 4 years because the same way I rooted for him. Listen, every time I see Dion Waiters posted online, I always commented Philly cheese.
Yo.
Even though I didn't like the dude, but when he got on my team, I forced myself to like him.
Oh man, yeah, we definitely always have those.
Yeah, I got. Listen, once they enter the team,
Mm-hmm.
no hard feelings no more. We on the same team, and
That's
then when
it.
they leave, it's like whatever again. But
Thank God.
yeah,
Right.
oh man, that dude. But he won one
Yeah, did he? Did he really?
last year with the Lakers
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot he was on that team. Him and bum ass
against
Jared
the
Dudley.
team that got rid of him.
Yeah, damn Jared Dudley stealing Melo's ring. God damn
Yo,
it.
that's you know we talking about things that we never understand. How the hell they pick Jared Dudley over Melo?
I don't know. Man, Brown, that's supposed to be a banana boat dude. You're like, come on, you ain't had no pull.
Word. I ain't understand that.
But yeah, that's just Jared Dudley, Mister.
He got one.
He does, man. Hey, that's what you. That's how
Hey,
you do it.
he's responsible for the Ben Simmons poster outside Barclays, so I'm
Facts.
always thankful.
Yeah.
Man,
You ever finished that J. Cole album?
me?
I've heard like 6 tracks. Highly impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Much better than his play on the court so far.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a triple single. He's
Yeah, mostly
I
zeros.
think he's like 2, 3, and 4, something like that. I don't even know. So
I mean,
that's great.
in his defense, it's tough, going overseas after and like being like rushed in a game professionally. But
that's
the
true.
shots he's putting up, like I mean, me and you would at least hit the rim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I definitely
Hope he
hung
pulls it
on.
together, man.
Yeah, J Hill, I think he will. Hung on Hillside though. I love that track. Like you said, punching the clock. Let go of my hand. I like that. Proud as the devil.
Diddy. Apparently, yeah, that was a diss to Diddy. So that
Mm-hmm.
was,
I like that.
I didn't know he had a tussle with Diddy until he said it on the track.
Mm-hmm.
me either.
I was like, whoa.
I was like, hell yeah, that's right. Diddy still pissing people off to this day. God damn.
Yeah.
He going.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
man,
you with that smoke.
it's definitely a great album, man. He did his thing. We
Yeah.
needed that. Actually.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, Memphis still up.
Yeah, there we go. Andrew Wiggins probably finally going to the damn rim instead of trying to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Man, my pick so far is looking real good. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. This episode's been real good, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Thank you,
No,
man.
thank you, bro, for coming on.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Word. And catch this online by subscribing to the YouTube channel, Life Group Podcast. Searching.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to share it around, too.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, heck yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it.
For sure.
Catch it on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, however you receive your audio podcast. How can we receive yours, bro?
I mean, if anybody want to contact me, man, I'm of course, Facebook, my name, Jason Ortiz. Instagram, I'm like jason.m.ortiz. Twitter's just Jason M. Ortiz. And, you can search on Amazon under the same name. I got like 13 books I publish on Amazon. I have a podcast, but I haven't really worked it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of took a little time away, but I will be getting back to it. It's called Talking That Talk, and that's what I do. I talk my ish, and it's more relationship, family, life based because I used to do relationship coaching for a long period of time. I used to do a lot of stuff like that. I did a lot of public speaking for organizations that needed someone to talk to people at risk and stuff like that. So, a lot of that comes from that dynamic. But when I return to it shortly in like a week or two, it's going to be more well-rounded where I'm just going to be tackling everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
And it'll be that name. It'll be on Anchor. Same thing like you said, Apple, YouTube, all this. It'll all be under the same name.
That's what's up. You catch that as well as our other podcast, Total Bases on Sunday mornings with Felipe and Sean covering fantasy baseball. Donk City covering the actual real baseball season. Yankees facing the White Sox this weekend. Top teams in the AL.
Yeah.
They'll be there Monday night, 7 p.m. In baseball life. The Audible returns. Football life is Tuesday at 7. Randy Hammond, Matt Bushnell. We're in the off season. So far, he has finally turned the corner on Justin Fields. So
About time.
it took him a while. He's there. And we have the Work Shoot Wrestling Podcast with Jason Brooks, Corey Richmond on Wrestling Life Thursday nights, 8 p.m. That's the Life Group Family of Podcasts. You catch Jason's podcast as well as his books on Amazon. It's been a great episode talking playoff basketball. Any parting words for the audience, Jake?
Oh man, don't miss a game, man, because I'm telling you, this year is going to be special.
Mm-hmm.
Although my money says Brooklyn is definitely championship material. If they don't make it out the East, that's because someone took them out at 5. I had to do it, man. My bad. I had to do it.
No, that was good. That was
good. It's all good.
That was good.
Brooklyn's going to make you a richer man, so cheers.
Yeah, that damn party on Flatbush. That parade on Flatbush.
Damn right.
All right. I can see it
All right,
coming.
y'all.
Well, thank you, my brother. We appreciate it.
And until next time, everybody, ball out.
Well,
peace.